So I have to ask, and just for the record, aside from the rich history of Black Lightning, was there a little bit of inspiration you guys were able to get from The Incredibles? You know, the idea of a superpowered dysfunctional family?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
All right.
But that's a good idea. I should go watch the movie again.
Good movie.
It's an excellent movie. I've seen it.
Or Incredibles 2 when it comes out.
Yeah. So, but that was a good question. But no, I think to your point, it was such a rich history. With Black Lightning, you don't really need to go anywhere else for inspiration.
Speaking of their rich history, in the comics they are based in a fiction city. So why New Orleans? Why did you choose to?
Well, we're actually in Atlanta now, but we chose a real city because we're living in real times. And if you remember the comics, Black Lightning, the comics have always been socially relevant. And so we chose a real city because we want him to address real problems. The same problems. 125 shootings in Chicago, over a weekend. We want him to be able to fight those villains. We want him to be sex trafficking. It's huge. Anybody from Atlanta knows in Atlanta sex trafficking is huge. So we can't ignore that. We want to address that. And so that's why we chose a real city, because we wanted people to recognize the villains and the problems that are surrounding him.
That's why this is not an origin story. This is actually kind of starting in the middle. Why did you choose to do it that way?
Why are we starting it in the middle, not an origin story? We did that because I wanted him to be fully out of the game. What's interesting to me is not what you're doing, it's why you quit and then why are you pulled back in, right? So he quit because of the love of his family, right? I love my wife, I love my kids, and I'm coming home beat up. And if you guys seen the trailer, you see that image of him in the tub. You can imagine having to deal with something like that, once a month. And so when she says, look, I need you to stop for the love of your family, he did. 9 good years, right? You're on the wagon, right? Because your superpowers can almost be like a drug, right? Yes. So your superpowers, and so she's telling him to get off this drug. So I wanted to see and hear what it was like, so that as we walk down the road of him coming back, we knew what he was headed for. And now we know what his daughters are headed for as well. So that's kind of why we started right there.
And it's fun to your point, we have 2 origin stories. The retirement, coming out of retirement, and then so there's still more to know. And storytelling keeps you leaning in. That's our job, to keep pumping them out.
Having read all the comics and, being up on this history, were there any favorites you had? Any particular story arcs, characters that you were especially excited to bring to the screen?
Yes, I have, and I'm trying to remember the name. I just had Tony Isabella sign it.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite comic is, and you guys probably seen it, it's the comic with the black and white cover with all the bones on it, where Jefferson is shot, and then he's hallucinating, and it's around Halloween time. So when he's being pushed through the thing, it's just an amazing book, and I can't remember the name of it because I'm tired of shit.
We'll look it up.
So what's the one, I would say, enduring image or feature that this series is going to bring to the table as in comparison to, and I don't want this is like the other CW Hero series, but any other Hero series, what's going to be your mark on this particular series? So when we look back and say Black Lightning was family drama, was it a hero drama, was it something a little more tangible because it's from Atlanta?
It's a family drama, and it's also the literal family about how do you be a superhero and be a family man. There's not very often that burden put on most superheroes. I think that they're detached for a reason. Well, imagine worrying about dying because he can, and I think that's what love. He can die. He's not invincible. But it's definitely a family show. But imagine I'm choosing this, but if I go out here and choose my gift, I might lose the biggest gifts of my life, which is seeing my girls grow up and walking them down the aisle and all the things that we love to do, that we dream of doing, while we struggle every day and put one foot in front of the other. Well, he's got that too.
I think our other stamp will be that we're dealing in reality. We're not, we're not fighting aliens. We're not fighting. We're fighting real villains. You know what I mean? And this guy is vulnerable, so he's not. He can be hurt. And so I think when you watch this show, you'll be able to recognize the villains. You'll be able to recognize the issues, and I think that will be the stamp that we're a family drama that happens about a family that happens to have some powers, and how do they use them is more important. How do they use them?
And then I can just brag on him a little bit. I think another stamp is I think Salim has done beautiful